Hey, this is the video lesson for Geometry 7.5, Proportions in Triangles. So in this lesson, we're going to use the side splitter theorem and the triangle angle bisector theorem. So the side splitter theorem just states that if within a triangle you have two sides that are parallel, or I guess if this line intersects the triangle, right, and it's parallel to another side of the triangle, then it actually, the sides it cuts are in proportion to each other. So this over this equals this over this. See here, it says the proof. If you want to look at the proof, it's on page 497. So let's use this theorem to answer this algebra question. So what's the value of x in this diagram here? So we can see that because KL is parallel to PN, it's side splitter, right? It's splitting this triangle in two proportional sides. So this over this equals this over this. So let's set that up in a proportion. X plus 1 over 12 equals x over 9. Just be careful, right? I started with x plus 1. This is what's across from it, so you're going to start with x. You're not going to do 9 over x. So this over this equals this over this. Or you can flip it. This over this equals this over this. But just make sure, right, these are lined up and these are lined up. So now we just have to solve. We can cross multiply. This becomes 9 times x plus 1 equals 12x. Distribute the 9. So 9x plus 9 equals 12x. Subtract the 9x from both sides and you get 3x equals 9, divide by 3. So x equals 3, and then it asks what the value of x is. So x is 3. Okay, so try this one on your own. Press pause and then check back for the solution. Okay, so here I set it up, this over this equals this over this. When you cross multiply, you get 8, a equals 8. Okay, moving on, we have a corollary to the side splitter theorem. So if you just have 3 parallel lines that cut 2 other lines, then all of these little, or the little segments that they form are also going to be in proportion. So in this case, this over this equals this over this, just like we did with the triangle, just an added corollary. It doesn't have to be a triangle. So let's look here. This is a little word problem. 3 campsites are shown next to the river. What's the length of site A along the river? So this length here. So we're trying to find this site. And it looks like we are missing a length. So let me go get that length. Okay, so I draw this pretty picture and they don't even include the numbers in it. So this length is 8 yards, this is 6.4, and we're trying to find this length here. So you can see since these are parallel lines, right, we can use these 4, let's see, this color here. So this over this equals this over this. 9 over 7.2 equals x over 8, and then cross multiply. So 72 equals 7.2x, and if we divide by 7.2, we should get 10. Yeah, 10 equals x. So the length here is 10 yards. Okay, so then press pause and then find the length c. What's this length here? Okay, and then check back for the solution. Okay, so for this one, I'm using these 4. So I did 8 over 6.4 equals 7.2 over y, and I cross multiplied and got that this length here is 5.76 yards. Okay, and then the last of these triangle theorems, or proportions in triangle theorems, is the triangle angle bisector theorem. So if you have a triangle and one of the vertex has one of the vertices has an angle bisector, it's going to cut these pieces in proportion with these pieces. So this over this equals, oh wait, sorry. Yeah, this over this equals this over this. All right, so let's try that with this problem here. What is the value of x? Let's try this, right? This over this equals this over this. Let's do it that way. 10 over 18 equals 12 over x, and then we can cross multiply. 10x equals 18 times 12. 18 times 12 is 216, and then if you divide that by 10, you get 21.6. So x is 21.6. Right, that's it. Just have to make sure you set them up correctly. All right, now try this one on your own and then check back for the solution after you press pause. Okay, so for this one, I set it up this over this equals this over this, which works too, right? This is the same triangle, this is the same triangle, so they should be in proportion like that. You could also have done, right, this over this equals this over this, and you would have got the same thing. When you cross multiply, you get y equals 14.4. Right, and that's it. Time for practice. Enjoy.